Hi, everyone, and welcome today to our special edition of 10-Minute Marketing. I'm Sonia Crystal Williams, your host, also the founder of Go Getter Marketing Group and SoniaCrystal.com. So today I'm joined by our colleague, Miss Lenaya Davis. Hi, Lenaya.
Hi.
All right, so one of the things that we really pride ourselves on as a team is how entrepreneurial we are as individuals. And some of the skill sets that come with that when it comes to social media, email marketing, digital marketing as a whole. So of course, in this short series, we've been interviewing members of our team and talking to them about what are some of the other things you do as an entrepreneur or small business owner. So today we are chatting with Lenaya about her shop. She has an Etsy store. Lenaya, tell us the name of your store and a little bit about it.
Awesome. So the name of my Etsy shop is Lunar Lotus Vintage. A little bit about my store. It is thrifted and upcycled clothing. Thrifted meaning I do get the items from a thrift store, and upcycled meaning sometimes I actually get an item and I'll make a change to the item. So I might sew it, I might bleach it, I might add something to it. If it's a pair of jeans, I might cut them myself and make them short. So it's a mix of that. Now, as far as how I got started in the whole thing, I guess you can say I really love thrifting and I love the vintage style. Everything I'm wearing right now is thrifted, actually. I started thrifting maybe a few years back, and it was something that I would always do with my mom when I was younger, and I didn't think it was cool back then, but now as I got older, I think it's so awesome. So sorry, Mom, I didn't think it was cool back then, but it's super cool now. So yeah, basically, I would go in thrift stores and just find like different pieces of clothing. There's sometimes even I would find like furniture or paintings, but I noticed I would run into, especially with clothing, because I do sell mostly clothing items, I would find such cool things and I wasn't able to fit them. But I would always think to myself, oh, if someone could just see this, or if, I could show someone this and, they can wear it. So I guess that's where the idea stemmed from. And I would always talk about selling items. And my husband, the one day was like, just do it. So after that, that was a push I needed to take the leap. And it was actually something I started during the pandemic. So that was a little bit challenging for me internally because like, why would I start this right now?
Right.
But it actually turned out pretty well. So that's the gist of it.
Okay, well, cool. So that's a little bit of the inspiration behind what you got started. So why did you pick Etsy as a platform? And for people who may have not have heard of Etsy, maybe tell a little bit about just what is Etsy and why did you choose that as a place to sell?
Yeah, actually, Etsy is a very big platform for small business owners, especially those who sell vintage clothing, actually, which I didn't know at first. But for people who sell vintage clothing, make their own items, I'm sure a lot of people have gone on there to buy like signs and different pieces for their homes, but they don't know it's just a small business with one person and you're making your own item. And I thought it was pretty cool because it was a huge community. And I remember coming across vintage clothing on Etsy, and it is a very organized platform. I know it helps me, but very organized as far as keeping track of orders, where the orders are going to, as opposed to maybe selling through a social network where, people would be fighting over the item. I would have to figure out, all right, well, who's getting it now? Because somebody said they wanted it in the comments.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, which is very true. There is only one item of each thing that I sell. So it's just super important, like Etsy, that I have a place to showcase it, and you're allowed to put multiple pictures, and just a very great way for a small business owner to stay organized. So Etsy's pretty awesome.
Got it. So, I mean, going into the vintage world, that in a sense defined, when we put on our marketing hats, who your niche audience was. Are there any other ways that you've said, hey, this is how I can get in front of the right people to sell to, or does Etsy take care of that?
So in a way, you can make it so Etsy does take care of that aspect of your marketing. But me, on the other hand, I don't. I don't do that. Now, going into this, I guess you can say I had a plan, but my plan was up in the air a little bit. Now, I was going into it thinking to myself, I was selling to myself. What would I like? I like unique pieces. I like one of a kind pieces. And just based off of fashion trends and what's popular now and what's hard to get your hands on now in the thrift stores, because thrifting has actually become very popular. So that actually makes it a little bit harder to get the things that people are looking for. And now prices are they're increasing a little bit.
Okay.
So I guess you can say going into it, no, I didn't have a niche audience. I still don't, because a lot of people actually wear vintage and you don't even know it. So I guess you can say my niche audience is everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what about other aspects, like your when you upload into Etsy and you're creating the store, like any business, did you create a logo, and what kind of things went into that?
Yeah, it definitely took a brainstorming session to figure out, what the logo was going to be. And I definitely wanted to make, even though I sold the clothing out of my apartment, I did want to make everything look professional. So going into it, coming up with the name and other aspects of the brand, I guess you can say, definitely made me think a little bit. I guess it was more so, again, just what came to me and what I like. So Lunar Lotus, Lunar, I kind of stemmed from the moon. I'm very fascinated with the moon. It does have a lot of phases similar to us humans. Lotus stemmed from the lotus flower, which it to me means purity, redemption, and I just wanted a super chill vibe for the brand and for the store. And when I think of Lunar Lotus Vintage, that's what I think about, good vibes. And I guess you can say too, for color wise, I didn't really have a color picked out. I do really like pastels though, and they're easy on the eyes. So that's where the purple comes from in our logo. Other than that though, definitely wanted to keep everything simple, modern, and yeah, it all sums it up.
Okay, cool. So as you get sales through the store, what's the process from there in terms of, do you get repeat customers? Do they join your email list? What's that cycle like for you?
Yeah, so it's actually pretty unique, and it's actually surprised me, the customers that we would get. So starting out with Lunar Lotus, we definitely marketed mainly on Instagram. We would actually make posts, and I say we because I started the business, but my husband does help me. We do sell women and men's clothing.
Okay.
So starting out, we definitely use Instagram as a platform to market our items. Now, how that goes, I would say I would post it on Instagram, but I definitely would say, hey, if you do want the item now, head over to Etsy. And what that looks like is buyers would then go on Etsy. So it does get us some traffic on our site on Etsy. Would go on Etsy, choose their item, and buyers are actually able to see as well if someone has that item in their cart. So it does push a sense of urgency, like, oh, you better hurry up and get it or else someone's going to buy it.
Someone else is looking. 20 people are looking at this item right now.
Yes, yeah.
I've seen
so
that.
That definitely helps. Yes. Now what that looks like, they go in, they purchase the item, and like you had mentioned before, all the items are one of a kind. Unfortunately, you can't find 5 of the same thing in a thrift store. So I do only have one of the items listed. And then the buyer chooses that item. From there, the buyer will pay and then enter their shipping information, which helps us out because Etsy actually takes care of the address and how much the shipping cost would actually be to ship it to them. And the part where I say it's very surprising because sometimes I'll get somebody, funny story, before I realized you can edit the Etsy settings, I had on international shipping. Okay. So I've actually shipped to someone from Singapore. I think I've shipped to someone in Hong Kong, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, global audience. Okay.
Someone is wearing our items over there, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
The only thing about that, it is a little challenging unless you do it pretty often to ship internationally. The prices do definitely increase, and the shipping, packing the actual package and then putting shipping labels on is a lot different than shipping in the U.S. But going back to actually buying the item, from there you buy the item and then you get a follow-up email saying thank you for your purchase. And then from there, typically if I need anything from the buyer, I'll reach out personally, which I think is awesome because it actually shows the buyer that I'm a human being. So I'll reach out personally and, you know, ask for anything I need. And then Etsy takes care of following up with the tracking. And the buyer can also reach out to me personally if they need to too.
All right, so final question. You're on Etsy, but there's a lot of different shops out there where people sell items. Some people launch Shopify stores, some people sell on Etsy and other types of marketplaces. What advice would you give someone who is some type of creator? You know, they have, you know, something along the lines of what you're doing. They're making products. They are an individual or a small team, and they're launching into the world of e-commerce. What are some little pieces of advice that you might share with them?
Yeah, of course. One piece of advice I would definitely give is if you're second guessing anything, honestly, just go for it. It took me a while, like I had said before, to kind of jump into things, but if it's something that you really enjoy doing and you can share that with other people, like why not take that chance? So I definitely think just go for it, don't hold back, and always keep up with different trends in your market, you know, what's selling, what seems to be popular, and then just try and implement that into your strategy. But also as well, just keep things professional and keep things simple. And yeah.
Very cool. All right, so where can we find on Instagram, Lunar Lotus? What's the handle? Is that it? Is it that simple?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Lunar Lotus.
At Lunar Lotus on Instagram. Yep. And then they can find the Etsy shop. Is it etsy.com/Lunar Lotus, or is it?
Yeah, it's Lunar Lotus, vintage.etsy.com.
There we are. Okay, everyone, Lunar Lotus, vintage.etsy.com. That's where you can go check out the one-of-a-kind items. Thanks again, Lenaya. I hope everyone has gotten a lot out of this, especially if you're in the process of launching a business or even thinking about switching gears and launching into something new. Even if you already have a business, this is a great opportunity. And again, Etsy is a great marketplace. I know I love going on there because you really can get so many unique items. All right. Yes. So until next time, everyone, thanks again for watching our special edition of 10 Minute Marketing. Take care.